So, synthetic leather. An awesome upper technology, if done right at least, that's been around for ages. I mean, even back in 1998, Nike made waves with the KNG 100 material on the first Mercurial. But it feels like in 2025, things have been taken to the next level, where some of the technologies around, some of the executions are so good that you might actually have a hard time seeing and feeling that it's not natural leather. But the thing is that with all the great technologies around, I also get a lot of questions in the comments about which the best synthetic leather upper is. So I decided to sit down and make a top 5 list of what I think are the best synthetic leather boots around that are readily available on the European market right now. And the last bit is important, you're gonna understand later. Let's do it. And now we begin in 5th place with the New Balance 442 Elite, which feels kind of bad to have it this far down the list because it is a magnificent little football boot, especially with an upper that is this soft. And I actually don't believe that the upper has an official name, but it does feel very similar to the dynamic touch tech that is on the New Balance Tekela. You're gonna find that higher up the list. But this, in terms of, like I said, softness, pliability, the ability to just manipulate and deform the upper just by squeezing it is absolutely top tier. It's up there among the best. It's thin and it just fits like a glove right out of the box. So if you're into that really glove-like, very easygoing sensation, these are very, very hard to ignore. And for me, the only reason that the boots have had to be pulled down to 5th is the fact that the midfoot lockdown for me is not top tier. It could potentially have been a little bit more structured without compromising on that glove-like fit. And also the outsole could have been a little bit sharper. But otherwise, it's a really sleek boot. It's super lightweight, thin, the heel fit is good, and yeah, it feels bad to have in 5th, especially because these are only 190 euros. So it's very, very impressive and feels bad, man. But there are better boots around. And while I did have a little bit of an internal discussion with myself between the 442 and the Puma King 20 Ultimate, ultimately, pun not intended, but I'll take it, I did end up going with the King for 4th place. Because what you have here with the Total Touch Plus upper is, well, it ticks many of the same boxes as the 442, but to me, the midfoot lockdown and the outsole are just a little bit better. It simply feels a little bit sharper and a little bit more modern. And since the upper is also buttery soft, very, very pliable, and just has this lovely padding to it, it is a little bit thicker than most of the other uppers on the list, but it just feels so effortlessly comfortable when you step in. It's buttery soft from the get-go and it just molds to the shape of your foot. The boot is also a little bit wider. It does feel there's just more boot around your foot. With that said though, having more padding in the heel is actually okay with me because this Ortholite custom fit foam is absolutely sensational. It's a memory foam, meaning that the more you wear the boot, the more it takes to the shape of your heel, so you actually end up getting what feels like a custom fit in the end, which is really, really nice. And yeah, it does look and feel a little bit bulky in hand, but it's not as bad on feet. So while there is more boot, it's just like sitting down in a really soft couch with a plush blanket over you and a memory foam pillow in your back. Very nice, 220 euros, and yeah, it's got these OG cruiser leather boot vibes, and I'm here for it. And now we've kind of come to the point in the video where I've had to make a really tough decision. And I'm not necessarily a fan of it, but I've ended up going for the Nike Tiempo Ligera Pro in 3rd place. Now, at the time I'm launching this video, I don't think many of you will have actually had these in hand, but trust me when I say that these are nuts when it comes to the overall feel of the synthetic leather upper. So Nike's tech leather here is actually bonkers, and for me feels like a little step above what's on the Pumas and the 442s. And if these are buttery soft, you could call these melted butter, I guess. It's just, yeah, I haven't really felt anything like this in a while. It's so soft, it fits so well, so glove-like. It's nice and thin, has a little bit of stretch, but without overstretching, of course, and the foam package just, it reminds me of that feeling, the slight, fluffiness of a regular leather boot. So that's really nice. But despite being an absolutely fantastic material, we are also looking at the boot as a whole. And in order to go up against the top dogs, it just needs to perform throughout. And for me, you know, while it is super light and very glove-like, and the outsole it does the job, personally, I think that the heel is a little bit too wide. So while it's very soft and extremely comfortable, I'm not exactly getting the pinch I want to feel properly locked in right up here. And also maybe the internal heel counter could have been a little bit stiffer to give me that secure, performance-oriented feel. So for the money, 160 euros and 150 euros for the inline color, it's an absolute steal. But in terms of like the top spots, I've had to go with it in third. It is what it is. But look, if you thought the decision for third was difficult, try for second place, okay? And I know what you're thinking.
Oh, it's so rough being Jay. I have to try all the best synthetic leather boots and then give a decision.
And I know what you say. But having the New Balance Tekela V5 Elite in second place feels a little bit criminal, if I'm being honest, because this upper, the shape of this boot, wowza. We're talking dynamic touch tech here, which is a synthetic leather it's on the thinner side. There is a little bit of like this cheeky padding on the inside, but it's definitely not as padded or lofted as the Ligeras or especially the King 20s. But it is soft. It is as soft, if not like it rivals tech leather, more or less for me. Maybe not as like, it doesn't have the same like tensional stretch to it as tech leather, but in terms of like pure pliability and, you know, it's not a word, manipulable. It creases so well when you squeeze it, and when it's on your foot, it just molds like a glove. Again, buttery soft. And you might be thinking, ooh, that's a low pointy toe box that. And yes, it is. But because the dynamic touch tech upper is so soft, but for me personally, it just accommodates. It just molds, and I've had no issues personally with it. The heel is absolutely fantastic. The way it just pinches the top part of your foot, locks it securely in place, I love it. This off-center lacing that frees up the pressure on the peroneal nerves, loves it, really comfortable. The outsole is good. It's nice and sleek, super light. You got a lot of like gritty texture on the ball, and as a package for 230 euros, nah. The Tekelas are awesome, which also means that leaving them in second felt rough. But it is what it is. But before we move on to number one, which you can probably already now guess what is, I also just want to mention a couple of other boots with synthetic leather uppers. There's the F50 Messi, the second generation, which for me, it breaks in nicely, yeah, but it just have too much initial stiffness to it, especially compared to the first generation for it to be on my list. First generation could maybe have snug in. This one, I don't think so. There's also the Zakito Scudetta, which by all accounts has this lovely, lovely soft bio touch upper. But in terms of like pure pliability, I think the other boots just slightly edge ahead. And then I also, my boot nerd integrity kind of demands that I also mention the two Silky Wrap boots from Asics, the X-Fly 6 and the X-Fly Pro 3, which by all accounts, I mean, these uppers are nuts as well. They feel very, very good. And they could have taken the boots to the very top of the list. But since they are not available in Europe, well, they're off the table. I kind of make the rules, but that's the name of the game. But they're lovely. And yeah, you probably saw it coming, but first place has to go for me to the Nike Tiempo Maestro Elite. And for the longest time, I thought the Tekelas were gonna be topping the list. But then these popped up out of nowhere in 2025, and well, it is what it is. Like I mentioned before on the Ligeras, tech leather is, I've said nuts and stupid many times, but this is kind of, it feels like that extra little next level compared to the other uppers, because it is both buttery soft, melted buttery soft, and yet it still has that little bit of like stretch, that tension that you'd only find in a natural leather boot. So it's really nice. It has that perfect amount of padding where it feels very plush and comfortable, slipper-like around your foot, but it also has that, you know, soft elegance on the ball, and I really, really like the touch. The shape almost kind of feels like a speed boot, which is perfect. It's very effortlessly comfortable. Heel shape is good. The outsole works, and it just gives me that extra something where it puts this idea in my head that when I'm wearing them, I am a wizard with the ball. I constantly want the ball, and it adds that next level, mentally at least, which is just something you can't put a price on. And I know that there will be synthetic leather skeptics out there that will say that, yeah, tech leather, yes, you can feel a difference, but it's getting to the point where this is so soft and so comfortable that even for someone like me, who's very religious about his natural leather boots, I just have to hold up my hands and say that these are absolutely fantastic. It is what it is. 260 euros for the launch colorway. I believe the inline colorway will be 250, which is very fair, so well done. And that means that my list of the top 5 best synthetic leather boots looks like so. 442 King 20s, Ligera Pros, Tekela V5s, and Tiempo Maestros. And the good thing is that you can buy all of these if you want them right now, while you'll have to wait until January to get your hands on the new Tiempos. And that sucks a little bit, I know, but I mean, they've released in 2025. I've worn them a lot already. I'm excited about them, so I kind of had to include them on the list. So if you want to buy any of these, all of the action happens in the link to Unisport right over there. But of course, I would also love to hear your thoughts on the best synthetic leather boots on the market in the link, the comment section right down below. Of course, also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel with the notifications on, and with those words, I'll be signing off. Cheerio.